Hello. Today I want to give you some updates about the previous graphy analysis. At first, I find out previously I give a label. See here, I give a label and ID. I just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like go down, and then I make sure the ID here match with my edge list. So this is my edge list. I make sure they match together. Like right now, all we need to do is all we need to do is just make sure this is a node. This is all the node. Okay, this is all the node. You just need to make sure the ID here matches with the source and target here. Okay. So the ID here is somewhere source here, and this ID means this label. So I think it's easier just in the future you just create an edge list, and then after you have an edge list you have pairs, and then just make all pairs to create a node list, and you can classify them later or so that's one thing. um, so because of this I changed my code, updated the code. And then the other thing is, since we're doing hashtag, this is all hashtag, is it means the hashtag they coexist in a post. um, so the number of times the hashtag showing up is actually really important. Okay. For example, like this one, they show up like 4,000 times, but this is just 4 times, so they're not the equal important. Um, to differentiate it, that you have to make sure, but when the graph you calculate them, they won't calculate weight when they calculate centrality. So that's why you have to do it differently. So in the code here, I use network X. I calculated, you have to, create a graph there, and then I calculate closeness centrality based on the distance, the basically the weight. Okay. You have to give them a value called distance, which is like, well, not necessarily a value, it's just attribute. So for every edge you created here, you have to have attribute called distance, and that distance have to be the number that is 1 divided by the weight. So the weight is bigger, the distance is smaller, which means more closer. Okay, so that's the other change that's what we're gonna do. So um, just make sure um, for weighted networks, Gaffey does not take that into account what by calculating centrality. Okay. um, and then what I want to do is I just want to open my node. So this is the final analysis I did. Basically the only thing, well, I already did the analysis, but I just want to show you how I did that. The first step is there's so many nodes. See how many nodes I have? There's so many nodes, and not everyone are exact same importance. So you want to make sure you select the right ones, the most important ones, or the ones that you feel that matters to you. Um, so you wanna, so I created edge, for example here. This is degree. You wanna filter them. Okay, for example, like in degree I filter 200 because and you create filter, and they will have less than that. And for the edge you can make them, for example, like 100. Then they only have this much edge showing up here. Okay, that's basically what I do. So I don't have all the stuff. And then once you have this, you run, and you run it. You see here, these individual ones won't show up. Okay. Actually, I changed the number to 80. Then that works. So when you use force atlas 2, make sure check overlap so they won't overlap. And scaling would make sure you have enough scale so they won't, you know, the nodes are not too big. And anyway, you just play with those numbers. And then I like to choose Yifan Hu. So, the structure is better. See these colors, they have different modules. Then the only statistics I run is um, modularity. You can see here. Make sure you check weights and resolution. You can check it. Basically, what they do is they will choose the groups that have most edges until they find they will add all the add points, add points until they add another points and the edges won't well maybe like edge density won't add anymore. So we'll maximize the connections inside the modules. So basically that's what they do. Okay, um, you could select all of them. For example, like these small modules and new workspace. Okay, so these are all the nodes. So they will copy them there. And you click it. See here? That's what you see down there. Okay. So basically you could do another map just for your modules. That's another cool way to represent what you have. Okay.